Flipping. Got the dog. We're gonna walk them. I figured I haven't gone live in a while on a Saturday morning. It's a perfect morning. So why not? Why not walk the dog? Because later on he's going to be cooped up in the house to so I gotta, my oldest daughter's having her birthday. We're gonna go out for her birthday today. Morning. Yeah, it's perfect. It is a perfect morning for all the one-ears that are in here. We've got the, so everybody's like, you should use a harness. And we do have a harness for him, but Caesar Milan is like, no, harness is not a great idea because it allows the dog to pull. That's what it's designed for, right? And if you don't want the dog to pull, you don't want to do that. Good morning, Thomas. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're enjoying retirement. The sun is pretty strong, so if I can't read your comment, Shannon says good morning. Georgia Swamp Mud Trail riding today. I just finished breakfast. Good deal. Yeah, I'm taking the daughter out. My oldest daughter, she's in her 30s. Had her when I was kind of young, and her birthday was yesterday, so I figured I'd take her out for lunch and wherever she wanted, you know. Built a Honda 1005 Pioneer, jacked up to the hilt. Cool. Just right in the Ozarks. Hey, just right in the Ozarks. We've got a person interested in those socks, so next time you're in Springfield, drop them off and I'll get them to them. So I'm letting this dude pull a little bit today, but normally I've got a training leash on him. So be cool if we can come across some yard sales. Big tires, big lift kit, big stereo. Well, there you go. Sounds like a fun time. Let's see. Nice, will do. I'll call you later. Good deal. If I don't answer later, it's because I'm hanging out with the daughter, but we'll definitely touch base. So, anyways, it's a perfect morning. Like, this is literally a perfect morning. It's like they're fixing their fence. Wonder if somebody crashed through it. Let's go over here. Anyways, that's the day. So I figured I'd take this dude for a walk. I know some YouTubers do that. They walk their dog and talk about trucking stuff. Good, beautiful morning, my fellow humans. Buck Brown. Dude, it is perfect out here. Autumn has blessed us. It's like 60 degrees. On the cloud or chemtrail in the sky. It's kind of nice. This is kind of a interesting maneuver to handle both a selfie stick and a dog at the same time. I heard them trucking I heard trucking took a dump with all them foreigners leaving. They'd be back soon. Has there been an increase or decrease? What's up, TJ? Um, a lot of drivers haven't. Some drivers have told me that they've noticed a difference as far as like truck stops and things of that nature. Um, the I guess it just depends on the individual state whether they're cracking down. I did notice that I was getting a better premium rate going down into Florida and Georgia versus normal, but people are reporting kind of empty truck stops. Morning, Sterling. And but if you're still driving down I-40, a friend of mine told me that 9 out of 10 drivers that pass him, because he's in a governed truck out there on 40, are foreigners. You could tell a lot of them are Indian based. You can tell the Sikhs, what they look like. Hanging out with mom today, good deal. Sounds like a cat fight somewhere. So now the brokers haven't gotten the memo that maybe they ought to. No, come on. That maybe they ought to fix their scheduling where you're not trying to do 800 miles in one shift. Picking up at noon, delivering at 7 a.m. the next morning, 712 miles, kind of crap. So there's a lot of angry shippers right now because now their stuff isn't getting pushed to the last minute for the best deal. And a lot of brokerages, or a few, I've started to see an uptick in brokers saying that you need to be able to speak English because they're afraid of their trucks being put out of service. So it's cooled down up here finally, so we're going to meet my son and fiance and do some day hiking. Awesome. Yeah, I'm hanging out with the daughter today. Yesterday was her birthday. And then tomorrow I'm actually going to jam with a friend of mine. I've started writing music again. It turns out that I'm out of retirement, I guess, on the music thing. Come on, dude. Let's go. So it's been kind of nice to get in that mode. I've been getting on Facebook and just being a part of these amp and pedal forums. And the next purchase, I have 2 purchases I need, but I got to wait for the money, is I want to get a small interface where I could plug in multiple things into the computer to record on it. Come on, let's go this way. And then I need a vocal pedal, especially if I'm doing solo stuff at the church, which is what I'm doing this week. Music seems to bring you joy, so enjoy being unretired. Yeah, you know what, Thomas? Interesting thing about that, dude, is a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was last week, you can ask Sterling because he called me in the middle of it. I was having it rough. I was in a state of decay mentally. And yeah, it was last week and a half ago. And my wife and I had a long talk about all of what I was struggling through. And so she's like, you know what? You just need to focus on music. You need to get out of that retirement and just focus on it. So last Saturday, I went in the jam room, went over my gear, and did some experimenting with the gear, make sure this worked for that and that worked for this. And, a lot of these guitar players these days, young and old, seem to go ampless. They basically bring an interface or a DI box or pedal system that goes directly to the soundboard. And I bought a pedal to record with, which it acts as an interface by itself, but if I want to add a drum machine or anything like that, I still kind of need an interface. So anyways, so I started messing with that, and next thing you know, a couple hours later, I feel refreshed. I feel like this huge fog was lifted. Wrote some lyrics. I mean, that's some of the best therapy, is just go out and play loud. I mean, it was awesome. It felt like my old self. It felt like my inner self had been reawakened. Because, face it, towards, I don't know, the last 5 years I was driving, I wasn't even really listening to a lot of music. I had Spotify Premium, and I still do, but, I pretty much listen to podcasts. That's all I did. Podcasts, or I was on the phone. Unless I was doing like an overnighter or a late nighter or early morning, like at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, where there wasn't really anybody to call, then I'd put on an album or two. But beyond that, so here lately I've been listening to a lot more music, but I find myself a couple weeks, not listening to any music because I don't drive anywhere. I work from home. So, and if my wife and I are in the car together driving somewhere, we're usually talking. Music's just kind of a background thing. So, Steve and everyone in time, it's time for the trail ride. Retired life. Everyone here is over 65, but me, retired from Warner Robins, AFB. Awesome. Enjoy, Thomas. Play angry. But yeah, Thomas, I know you're probably not in here anymore, but you're right. Music does bring me joy. So, there's a home for sale. What are the noises? So, anyways, play angry, buck round. Well, my music's not about anger. It used to be. And I'm not angry anymore. Oh boy, there's another dog. Okay, let's put him in the car. Dude, you're gonna choke yourself. Hey. Thanks.
Yeah, of course, man. My dog is such a nice dog, but he's so big and he doesn't understand personal boundaries.
Yeah.
Come running up, and it's like, dude, you idiot. People don't know,
Yeah, he's pretty friendly too, but some dogs he reacts to. Sometimes he hasn't never attacked anybody, but some dogs he's attacked, and I mean he's never attacked another dog, but some dogs he barks at. Some he's just like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and with my big barreling idiot, he knows no enemy, so he'll like. I'm always just like, don't go introduce yourself, dude. Come on, and he will like he. I try and keep a good eye on him because I know how willing he is to come
right.
and be like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you.
Well, this guy's a herding dog too, so he likes to jump and move you and all that.
They'd be friends. One of these days we'll figure that
Yeah.
out. Until then, we'll make sure you have easy walk.
Right on.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take it easy. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. But I guess there is a little bit of anger in my music still, but it's not death metal angry. It's more like, I don't know, should be invigorating, right? Not anger, but invigoration, motivation, momentum. So, but that's kind of, but after Saturday, man, my mind lifted and I felt good, and of course, you know, it went right back to that darkness yesterday. I was having a bad day yesterday. And nothing really sparked it, I guess, but I don't know, I'm still dealing with some angry issues. So, Gary Bates, what's up, man? So, but anyways, so that's when I've the song I've written, I could actually probably play my own drums too, but that's a whole different ball game. I've got a drummer that'll help me out, but recording the drums is going to be difficult. So, you are awake. Good deal, Gary. We all should be awake. You want to be awake, but not woke. So, but I do have a drum machine pedal, and I'm going to tinker with it today or tomorrow to make sure I can put it with the song. If so, I'll just use it. But well, I'd have to put it on, I'd have to use the recorder because I don't, like I said, I don't have an interface yet. So, there was one on Marketplace that was $45. But man, here lately, Marketplace has been kind of a crapshoot. By that, I mean, let the act of playing music be a way to let the stress out instead of keep it in your mind. That's what I'm trying to do. That's the great thing about this new pedal I got, is I can literally use headphones, and it sounds like I'm playing through my big rig, you know. And the Boss ME70 does that, but this thing is, you know, I keep that kind of in a backpack, and it's only used for church at this point. But this little Boss, it's called a Boss IR2 pedal, and this thing it's like the size of a regular distortion pedal, and like it sounds like I'm playing through my rig fully engulfed in the sound, which is what inspires me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right there is Kraft. I've parked on this street many times, you know, when I've done late deliveries here. I can always tell someone who's using their GPS and didn't do the recon because they don't go to this road, which is where the entrance is. They go to the address, which is not a truck-friendly route. And I've tried to warn them on the CB radio, and no one uses their CB radio, so let them learn the hard way. But you're right, Buck. I mean, music, you know, if it hasn't been for music, I probably could have gotten into some really bad vices back in the day. You know, music was a little bit more of a priority than other things that were probably more important. Here, I'm going to switch hands here. But, and that was one of my things. You know, I spent so much time focusing on music than what was important. I think subliminally, I was afraid to go back to music. Chief Ray Holler, good morning. SS, or Sick Bastard. Buck Brown Bates saying hi to everybody. So, but this Sunday I'm actually playing solo at church with 4 songs. 5 maybe, depending on how things go. So I've been rehearsing that. But I found out that I can't really play acoustic music if I'm angry or distracted. Brazil, what's up, man? Sepultura. Old Sepultura. They're from Brazil. And 99% of the active self-protection videos are from Brazil. So, that's what's going on with me. So you got to have an outlet. You know, you can't, you know, it's difficult to have an outlet as a truck driver, that's for sure. You know, unless you bring a guitar with you in the truck. Dude. Here, hold on. Shut your leash up a little bit. We're getting near that dog again. You're from China. Try this alternative. Yeah. And which I did bring a guitar, but you want to bring either one of those carbon fiber guitars or just a cheap beat up one, because guitars get beat up on the road. I've got an acoustic, electric body, slim body acoustic that I've run on the road, and it's kind of like intonation's off. It needs some work. It's a cheap guitar, but so I've been leash training this guy. He does, for the most part, decent. You know, like he's not really pulling today a whole lot. Later, have a great weekend. All right, TJ, enjoy your day, man. Thank you for coming in. And I'm wearing your hat today. I don't know if you can see. Look, do you see? There. YouTube's like, fix your camera. It's like a perfect day out here. Like they're working on that house. That house needs a lot of work. Like a ton of work. Like he's trying to drill into that cement. How's doggy training going? I had to end those classes because the first week is when big windstorm that wiped out our power for 4 days came through right in the middle of that class. And then the second week was when he hurt himself. Or no, the second week was the 4th of July, and the chick didn't show up. I got a free bag of dog food for that because I showed up and they're like, didn't they tell you? I'm like, no, classes were canceled. And I was like, oh, all right, well, just pick something out of the store. I'm like, even this $80 bag of dog food? Yeah, sure. I'm like, okay. So I did. Because we buy him the good stuff. I don't buy that Purina crap. And I'm gonna switch hands here, dog. And stop. There you go. Now you got a long leash. And then the third week, she got a sunburn and canceled, the teacher. And then by the fourth week, that was when he was hurt. So I canceled and got my money back. So, and to be honest with you, I think that was a good thing because I wasn't really getting anything I haven't been able to get from YouTube for free. You know, the thing with training dogs is just spending time with them and not being heavy-handed. So I think that's the key. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got far to go, but he pretty much, his worst habits really is sitting on the wrong couch and jumping on people. I think it's burned my daughter out, and my wife out. So there's that, but so maybe when things get better, money gets less tight, then we'll get into some training. The guy from Live PD, Craig Mile, that was canine handler for Lore, he has a boarding thing that's like $2,400. I'm like, that's insane. Or you can hang out with him for a day for like $130. So, but let me read the comments here. Dog food is so expensive. We've been feeding our dog chicken and deer for over a year now. A buddy of mine recently purchased an Aero band guitar, and it's designed for travel purposes. It's very portable. Hey, stay out of the road, dude. Dweeb. What's up, Tolga? Haven't seen you in a minute. Of course, I haven't been live in a minute, so there's that. Why is that, dude? Man, every time a car goes really slow, man, I'm ready for war. You can never tell in these walks. What's up, Lawrence? So that's why we haven't, you know, and you're right about the dog food. We were going to put them on a real meat diet, but we haven't just initiated yet, because I was going to do half and half. But we got this carnivore kibble that doesn't have any grains in it, and it does pretty good. And I put a YouTube short of how I feed him. Basically, I make him sit and he waits until I say the word go, and then he'll eat, which is kind of a neat trick. The whole family's impressed with that one. So, and that's the thing that you want to train a dog. You want to train a dog to not give in to its impulses, kind of like us, you know? Instead of $35 an hour detention, I'm going to start charging $100 for shippers and receivers to hang out with me. Yeah, that's good. No. But so yeah, so the music thing is bit me again, and we're surviving. I've been going on more walks because of this goofball, and you know, it's perfect weather. Come wintertime, that's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to buy him a treadmill or something, because, you know, that's the thing about these dogs, they got a lot of energy. Constantly. Constant. This dude's never ending. We used to have a dog that wouldn't eat until we said prayers for him. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's a nice pickup right here. Dude. It's a pretty pricey thing right there. Ugh. Over here, we don't want to be out in the street. So, Now, speaking of prayers, every morning, like, so I have a routine, a predictable routine that he's picked up on. So in the morning, um, I get up about 4 or 5. I let him out of the crate. He goes to the bathroom, comes in. He knows that I'm chilling and doing coffee. Then about 6:30, 6:30, depending on workload, I'll go outside, and he knows that that's time for. Oh, that's when I go outside, right? So I got to get him a herding ball. I think I'm gonna try to find one today, because his basketball that he loves so much is now starting to shred, and I don't need him swallowing that. So I'm gonna get him a herding ball, or at least something that's a little bit more durable than a basketball. All right, come on. We're gonna do one more round. Here we go. Come on. What's that say? Rock on, metalhead thing out, dude. I've been getting $100 per hour for detention the last 3.5 years to carry him with. Yeah, tank and bulk is different. Yeah, door swingers don't get that privilege. Like, I know, like, a friend of mine that was doing liquid tank, if he gets to a receiver and they don't have room for his product, they'll pay him $500 to $1,000 a day to sit. Like, that ain't bad. Tell you what, that's one thing in trucking I wish I could have done, is tank freight. Almost every single one of my friends that I drove with had gone over to the tank side. Come on, dude. Come on, I was just bragging about how you don't pull. Come on. Gosh, that's one thing I've noticed about this dog. You can't compliment him. Then he just makes a liar out of you. Come on. He's such a dweeb. Those pickup trucks don't last in Houston. It doesn't surprise. Yeah, that's one thing about my pickup, is I don't think it's at any risk for getting stolen. You know, not at least a huge effort. I mean, yeah, I'm sure any vehicle can be stolen. Come on. Buck missed the tank sometimes, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. I never had a desire to do flatbed. I'm the guy that can barely tie his mattress in the back of the pickup, so there's that. But tank freight, man, I kind of wished I could have done that. You never know. The way this economy's going, if I had to get back in the truck, I'd probably be the first person I call is my friend over at Opie's. They'd probably hire me in a second. Hear all those birds? It's some of my friends say I'm not right in the head. After I turned down a W-2 job a couple of years ago, paying $250,000, $300K a year. Oh, milk. Milk. Don't want to show the kid. Here. So let's go over here. Come on, dog. Let's cross the street. I don't want to hang out with you. Come on. All right. It's not as scary as it looks on the outside. You know, I was taught in CDL school by a guy that was a tank driver. And so he was all about nice and easy, no sudden movements, no sudden turns, no taking turns too fast, no sudden braking. Nice and easy. Nice and easy, he would say. And that really helped me. Come on, dude, get off there. And so I think I would do okay with, because I drive pretty conservatively on the road. Even with the uncovered truck, I was still about 63, 64. Gas tanker, if anything goes wrong, it's over quickly. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You're not going to know. One minute you're listening to, you know, some music. Next minute you're looking at the gates of the afterlife. Maybe. But other than that, look at this guy. He's not even pulling. I got one of these retractable leashes recommended by Shannon Thomas Trucking. If I get the numbers this tonight, I'll get W9s with polished gas cans. Respect the equipment and it'll return the favor. Yep, that's true. That is true. It's true with anything. Respect anything and they'll return the favor. And if it doesn't, then you know not to be with that thing, right? If you're with people that don't respect you, then you don't need to be around those people. If you're in an industry that doesn't respect you, then get out of the industry. Or be part of the industry that is respectable. That's how I look at it. Right? Man, the leaves are starting to turn here. Yep, they're starting to turn here too. Imagine this cold snap we're going through, or this cool snap, I guess. Because, you know, I'm still in shorts. Is going to trigger a lot of the leaves to start turning. No. But yeah, the quality of drivers all the way around. It's not just van, it's all of them. Flatbed especially. I'm a part of some flatbed groups on Facebook, and they've told me quite a few things. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for hanging out with me for 38 minutes. It felt like an hour. It felt like longer than that. Anyways, you guys see the new carport? Hey, get out of there. Oh, get out of there. So, anyways, I got to bring this dog and get him some water. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. Peace.